Hello everyone. It is July 15th. Thought that this would be a great time to give you kind of an update of where 2010 stands and also looking ahead for the next 6 months and beyond and share a few things that God's been placing on my heart and is at work in me personally. 2010, we have seen quite a year, no matter how you cut it, no matter what metric you look at, whether it's attendance for worship or attendance for Sunday school or for giving. No matter what you look at, we have seen a growth, pretty robust growth. And that I am so thankful. I get a little reticent talking about numbers. Sometimes you can get so focused on those you forget there's actually people behind there. But I think what the growth is showing us is there's a real excitement in what is taking place at Andover and a real excitement about what God's doing in your midst. And so that I celebrate. And I know that the people that have been coming have been impacted in a very positive way. We're also seeing a real seasoning of the congregation, which to me is exciting. What I mean by seasoning is we're seeing baptisms, we're seeing babies being born, well I guess babies being born first, then baptisms, we're seeing weddings, we're seeing confirmations, we're seeing funerals of members and family members. And we're even seeing some that have served very faithfully and have been kind of the backbone of the church. Have in the last month or two, we've seen several folks who have left for job reasons. And so we're starting to see a seasoning, a real just growing time in terms of how the congregation is perceiving itself. I look at that because no longer are we fly-by-night worried about are we going to make it next week or not. It is not mission accomplished, and please don't hear me say that. But what it is that we're being a consistent presence in the lives of those that are coming in our community, and that is what it's all about. A consistent presence, week after week, day after day, year after year, decade after decade, of a consistent witness. That's what it's all about. It doesn't matter how you start. It is definitely how you finish, and we are beginning to see real signs of a longevity. And for me, that's exciting. It's not that we have anything tied up in longevity, but what it is, it's showing that there's a real substance and there is a real depth that is taking place within the congregation. And so that's exciting within 3 years that we're seeing that. As we turn our gaze forward for the rest of 2010, we have a wonderful opportunity. We have seen an influx of new people, and if you're one of those, we're so glad that you have decided to make Andover your home. One of the things that we have said from day one is that we are about making disciples. And you make disciples as we worship, as we grow, and as we serve. And we said worship will be the front door, and that's just the way it is, and we recognize that. But we don't stop at worship. We find small groups, and majority of the folks are finding Sunday schools to attend. Some United Methodist women, some even sing in the choir or find some other place. But to find a small group where you can grow in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your accountability, and in terms of being cared for, that you can be cared for as well. So that's such an important part. So we worship, we grow, and then we serve. And the serving typically comes out of the small groups that we have. It's out of the Sunday schools. It's out of the choir. And that service can take place within the walls of the church or outside. Here's our opportunity. We have an influx of new folks that we need to be diligent in inviting to help all of us find a home that we can grow and be cared for. To all of us find a place of service with it, whether it's within the walls of the church or outside. And so I'm going to be unapologetic in my focus over the next 6 to 12 months in helping us all find a place where we're connected, where we're growing, and where we're serving. And that'll be the focus of not only the sermon times, but also just personal interaction and everything else. I want us to gain traction and all of us find a place where we can grow, be cared for, and serve within the walls of Andover. There is much to be thankful for, and I am thankful for you and your faithfulness. We've seen it at every turn. Whatever has been needed to have been done, whether it's tear down the fence, whether it's clean the place, whether it's to do something in the community. Anytime that we've asked, you have been very responsive. And I attribute that to your love for God and how God's working in your life. And I'm just so thankful to be your pastor, and I'm thankful for what God is doing in your life. As we move forward, I want us to continue to listen to one another. I want to hear what's on your heart, how God's working, what we can celebrate together, what perhaps we need to change or think about doing differently. I want to hear what God's placed on your heart, because I've said from day one that the vision for Andover isn't mine, it's God's. And God will bring about the vision by who God's bringing to Andover. And so that is why I think it's so important that we continue to listen and we continue to dialogue and process with one another about what's God doing in my life. Where is God leading me? Is there something that He would have me do or have us consider? And so that is going to be such an important part as well as we go forward. So if you haven't already, find a Sunday school. I'll go ahead and continue that message now. If you're in a Sunday school, maybe find somebody that isn't, and make the invitation. Let's don't beat anybody over the head, but at least let's be invitational, and for that we could all be appreciative and thankful of. I am so thankful for you and for what God's doing in your midst, and thankful to be your pastor. I will see you this Sunday.